Welcome to Go Gettas Podcast, a podcast where we haven't quite decided yet we're doing it anyway. I am Colby.
And I'm a succulent turkey waiting for you to eat me. You can call me Fee.
Ooh, I did not enjoy that.
I'm sure someone did.
Name him.
Edward Dahmer.
What?
What's his name? Jimmy Dahmer? What? Close it down, Cole. I've embarrassed myself.
God, the podcast hasn't even been going for a minute yet.
I'm sorry. God, Jeffrey.
That's you're thinking name. Of Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Ed Dahmer, Jeff Gein. The classics.
Classic. Yeah, I love to stand a serial killer, you know, it's me.
Yeah.
I love a good murderer, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and I think it's relevant since, you know, gonna be murdering that food tomorrow.
That's right. Gonna get into the coma. We're recording this the day before Thanksgiving, and
boy am I thankful.
Yeah, tomorrow I am responsible for mashed potatoes, turkey drumsticks, and ham.
I'm responsible to be at the table and eat.
Fucking lazy ass.
I am not late. We went over this like not even that long ago.
I know, but you can't. You're like, listen, I could be in there. I could do it if I wanted to, but I don't.
If I wanted to. Look, if you're like me, and you're from like a Mexican household, there are girls in the kitchen. And if they call me in the kitchen, they want me to throw away the trash, or they want me to like pick something up. They don't want me cooking right there next to them.
Listen, get the fuck out.
It's stereotypical Mexican, but like, I mean, it's true. It's so true.
I ended up having to take over doing Thanksgiving and Christmas for my entire family the last, I think, 5 years or so. My parents got into poor enough health that they were like, yeah, we're not doing it. And so my mom would be like, yeah, let me get in there and try to help out. And I'm like, if you cut yourself on something, you're just going to bleed out and die. Like, you're old and fragile enough that I'm convinced that that's going to happen. So sit your ass down. And so fair. I was in charge of doing turkey dumplings, all that, or turkey dumplings.
Turkey dumplings.
We would do prime rib roast for Christmas, so I did that, like mashed potatoes, pies, everything.
I want to say, I don't know if we do like a Christmas dinner deal, right? I know that's like a tradition for like some people, right?
Yeah.
Christmas, like a traditional, it's basically second Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, do we do that in my house? I know we have like some kind of meal, but I don't know if it's like every year, right?
Yeah.
I think just kind of have to be in the mood for it. And, you know, once you open the gifts on Christmas morning, we kind of just hang out.
Yeah.
And, last year we didn't do it. We didn't do any kind of meal. I remember it was right before, like, we're getting our house ready to get, like, moved out and stuff. So, like, everything was, like, in disarray.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we had a meal, but it wasn't like a... I'm going to be honest, I don't remember. I just don't remember. That was so long ago. That was a different me.
It's almost a year. It's just a year, Fee.
Yeah.
Not even.
I'm getting old.
That's
I'm forgetting a lot more and more.
Man, boy, ain't that the truth. Like so for some context, I have been working every day for the past, I think, 10 or 11 days, anywhere between 12 and 16 hours a day. And
boy,
like, it has been a rough go, because there's just this very big project that, like, we had a timeline for, and We did the best that we could. I mean, we pushed as hard as we absolutely could, and my brain is just fried.
Dude, I know. I remember you up in Discord just being like, everything's on fire.
Yeah, God. I mean, it was just one thing after another where, like, basically my company is working with another company to do some stuff, and, like, there were just so many assumptions that we made that felt like safe assumptions, but they weren't. And so, like, we would be like, oh yeah, we're ready to do this thing. And then they would say something where we'd be like, sorry, hold on, what? Can you repeat that? And then they would, and we'd be like, oh shit, well, we got to retool everything now. Like, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to do that? Like, what are we going to do about this? And that happened like over the past week and a half. It happened 3 different times. So
dude, and this is the worst time of year for like that to happen.
Yeah.
Holidays, and like you just moved into your new house. It's just, boy.
The thing that made it like much worse actually is that
the time difference.
The time difference, because the company that we're working with was in Australia. So like we would work, like I would wake up, take my son to school, come back home, and like start working, and we would be working on our side for, you know, all day, and then we would finally start getting answers to questions at like 3 p.m. And so 3 p.m. to 5 I'm working, then I go like, and because my wife was on a trip last week, I like for that next 3 hours or so am doing bedtime and dinner time with my kid, putting him to bed. Okay, 8 p.m.'s here. All right, now I get to work. Australia is like still up, and so I'm like, I end up working until, you know, midnight, 2 in the morning. Some like I worked until I think 1:30 a.m. one night. It's the latest night that I worked, but every other night was always anywhere between 11 and 1 a.m. and it was absolutely brutal, because like you would assume like, okay, we got these quick answers from them, great, implement this thing, okay, test it out, all right, seems like it's gonna be okay. Oh, what do you mean this other very core base, like dead simple thing that we assumed you were doing, you're not doing? Great, cool.
Do you ever talk to them? Do you hear their Aussie accent?
Yeah, one of them.
They ever
one of
give
them
you the
for
old,
sure does.
Did they ever give you the old see you next Tuesday?
No.
Oh,
I got very very little slang from them. Which made me so sad. Like I kept wanting to sneak in, like, hey, I watch a guy who clears out drains in Australia, in your city. Have you ever heard of this guy? Hey.
In your city, in your one big city.
Yeah, Australia is just Sydney. There's only one city.
Sydney, Australia, just one big island.
That's right.
We don't like New Zealand over here. We're playing our didgeridoos.
Oh God.
I'm trying to be worldly. That I feel like that Australian accent was fucking on point.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and record that and send it to an actual Aussie and just see what they got to say about it.
What, do you know any? Well, wait, never mind. Listen, you tell them, if they don't like me accent, they can put it in the bin.
God. Listen, I'm not saying that I could do any better. I'm saying that I know I couldn't do better, and that's why I don't do it.
I am the impression master. Give me an impression, I do it right now.
Okay, Christopher Walken.
Hello. I'm Christopher Walken.
Wow, great. No, 10 out of 10, no notes.
Those aren't my unpaid parking tickets.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
A 10 out of 10. I mean, when you're right, you're right, V.
If you don't think that impression's good, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
I mean, you could
said
say
that.
lines. You definitely know some lines, right?
Listen, I haven't heard Christopher Walken's inflection in forever. Give me a goddamn break. Gave me
Absolutely
the
not.
old.
You're the one who claimed rather bombastically, you give me any impression, I could do it right now. I ain't
Okay.
giving you a break for shit.
Give me another one. Give me another one. That one I had dirt in my eye.
Okay, Bill Clinton.
Give me a saxophone, I'll do it. Come on, Monica. Come on back to my office. Please. You and Hillary can come on back to the Oval.
You're so bad at this.
Show me that gat. I don't know. That's a Bill Clinton thing. He'd say that.
Would he?
If dude, Bill Clinton, you don't know this, but like Bill Clinton was hip like for his day.
No,
He was
what do you
like,
mean I don't know this? I grew up with Bill Clinton as the president.
well, yeah, me too, but like he was like very hip. He was like with the times and the kids. He played the saxophone on the Tonight Show and shit.
He
Like
did.
yeah, if he was in like the nowadays, he'd be fucking hitting that slang like he'd Pokemon go to the polls. Fucking
Listen,
but
I'm a
he'd
wonderful
make it-
president. I just need someone to teach me how to Dougie. That's it.
in my defense, my opponent, Johannes Biden, he does not know how to Dougie. And now look at me. He fucking breaks it out.
Fucking- yeah, he just
He starts fucking
absolutely
whipping
shits
him.
on him, fucking dabs on him at the end.
Dude, I'd vote for him. Like, no joke.
Fucking, he
I-
fucking hits the
I-
Juby slide off of the stage. You're like, holy shit!
Dude, that I'd vote for him in a heartbeat. I don't care what his platform is. He got my vote for just being one cool son of a bitch.
I mean, it would be hard to argue against that. That, and I also feel like in order to pull off something like that, you can't be a bazillion years old like all of our presidential candidates have been lately. Like at the very least, somebody who's got a little perspective.
I'm just saying, I'm easy to please if your platform is not absolute dog shit, and you can fucking do like a shimmy.
Yeah,
If you
one
could,
shimmy,
like,
just one.
Do the fucking Fortnite default dance on them.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby, you got my vote.
Oh man, if there was if there was like a presidential press conference in which he was like, all right, we're announcing sanctions on like imports from China because of, I don't know, any sort of military thing, like who gives a shit, we're announcing sanctions, and then he just fucking hits the default dance on, this is for you, China, just fucking hits the default dance on him and just leaves the stage.
The reporter, is Bill Clinton hitting a gwitty out the stage? Fucking, I don't know where the fucking meme is.
God,
Did Bill Clinton just hit the gwitty?
I hate that you picked the Kim Jong-il voice from Team America World Police for that.
Didn't that a little kid with like a speech impediment is the source of that meme? He's like, "Oh my god, did you just hit the gwitty coming out the door?" And he fucking has that voice. So now, if anyone says the meme, they gotta say it with that voice.
Christ.
I don't make the rules.
Listen, this is TikTok law, okay?
Listen, we're big on TikTok.
Are we?
I'm big everywhere. Well, no.
No.
But, I mean, we have more followers than like some people.
Hell yeah, you got more followers than me.
Oh, dude, yeah, more followers than me.
They're pretty good.
I told this joke that I made a Walmart employee crack up today.
Okay.
So I was at the Walmart today with my mom, and we we're shopping for a table because we needed a little fold-out table for Thanksgiving tomorrow, so it's topical.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just walking through the aisles. We already got everything, and I'm pushing the basket. Got the table in the basket, and there's these Walmart employees in the aisle that we went into, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because I turned and I didn't see them, and they were like, "It's okay, you got the wide load," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I got a wide load even when I'm not like pushing this basket, you know." I'm like a heavy guy. And she fucking died. She was laughing. She was like, "Oh no," she's like, "Don't, you're not," and
You
she
don't
was
come on.
fucking
You're not.
laughing,
No, you
and
come on.
I'm like, come on, lady, it's okay. I'm like, this fucking self-deprecation. I know what I am. It's cool.
Ma'am, ma'am, would you like to shake 5 sausages? Because I can extend my hand to you right now.
Right now, if you pulled it out, I'd eat it out of your hand like a seal.
Mhm.
Just, like to tell the truth, I have lost weight a little bit, not a lot, but that does count towards my last year's New Year's resolution. I've lost some weight.
Okay. Do you know how much?
Uh, I think at least 10 pounds or something. Some of my clothes fits loose now.
Look at
So,
you.
yeah, I've lost a little weight. Maybe more. I haven't weighed myself. The scale in our house is broken. Are not broken. It's just calibrated. So, because it's like really old. It's the one my
Uh,
mom's like had for like ever. So we don't have like a good one. And I'm not gonna go pay like fucking $80 for another goddamn scale just to tell me I've lost like a few pounds.
yeah, we had like a really fancy digital scale where it was like this was something that my wife got like as part of a health incentive at work, and it was like, okay, this is a smart scale, and like you stand on it and you like connect to an app and it'll keep track of your weight,
Oh,
and it does
boy.
like body weight measurements by like some sensors or some shit that it has.
All right.
And it's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. The problem with it is like all of those extra features just mean that it runs itself out of battery, and you can't replace it with double A's or anything because it's like a rechargeable
Oh,
lithium ion battery. So you have to plug it into like a charger. And we used to have it inside of our closet. So it's like, well, there's no place to plug it in here. And so we charged it fully when we first got it. And then within, I don't know, 6 or 8 months, like we just stopped charging it because we were like, oh God, gotta charge the scale again. And then we were just like, what if we just didn't have a scale anymore? What if we just threw
God.
it? What if we just didn't anymore?
I would love nothing more to do that, but my mom, because she has to weigh herself because she's like losing weight
Oh yeah.
because she's gonna getting her she's getting her operation in like a week and a half.
Oh damn.
Tummy tuck, because like she's been losing a lot of weight and
Mm-hmm.
she's been like on medication. She's gonna get, it's called like I'm quoting, mommy makeover.
Oh.
So that's what they call it, but like she is 4'9",
Mm-hmm.
and she's been like losing a lot of weight. I think she's like 140 something right now.
Mm.
And she used to be like 200. And now she's like way down, but the reason she weighs so much right now is because she has an excess skin.
Mm-hmm.
So she's getting the operation to get rid of it
Mm-hmm.
and to get a breast reduction, because if you don't know, if you're 4'9" and you have just ginormous boobs, it like really puts a hamper on your back.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And that's me, mom. I take
That's
after.
me, mama.
I take after. I got big old boobs.
Fuck. God. Well, I mean, I hope that
That's
she ends
why.
up recovering.
Yeah, she actually, dude, her job's badass. They're paying her for her what's it called, after like operation
Oh,
days
aftercare,
off. Yeah, her leave, so she
recovery
gets to
time.
like
Yeah,
so she gets to be at home for like a few, like a week or two,
cool.
while she recovers, and they're gonna pay her for it. That's what's up.
That's pretty sick, actually.
That is pretty sick. I was real excited for her,
Yeah.
but
Man, I am thinking about it. Do you think your mom can make like a backpack out of like the stuff they take out, or
oh no, you know what? I'd say maybe a small backpack, but possibly like a what are those big purses called? The Coach
Oh, a
purse.
Coach bag. Okay. All right.
I mean, I don't know if we can keep it to do it though.
You could ask.
I it's not like fucking okay, so like I don't know if you grew up watching cartoons like they would get their tonsils out and the doctor would be like, "You can keep them in this jar, right?" Like a lot of cartoons did
Yeah.
that. They're like, "Oh, we took your tonsils out. Here they are in this jar. You can keep them." And I was ecstatic when I learned I was getting my tonsils out as a kid. And I after I got my tonsils out, I was like, "Hey, can I keep my tonsils?" And they're like, "No, ew, we threw
No.
them
Ew. What do you
away."
do? No.
And I was just like, "Oh, okay." Like I was bummed because cartoons have like groomed me to believe that you could just keep like your tonsils,
Yeah.
and I was very upset when I learned that you can't.
Yeah. To
So,
be fair, like if you go in to get your wisdom teeth removed and you ask them, they will sometimes let you keep your wisdom teeth. But yeah, you're right. I've never heard of anybody being like, "Oh yeah, I got a tonsillectomy and they let me keep my tonsils afterward." Uh.
I want to say like why though? Like why would you like even in the cartoons like why would you keep them to like show your friends once and then throw them away?
Yeah.
There's no point in keeping them. Like I was bummed, but then like I understand now. I'm like, oh, why would I keep them?
Yeah. Like, yeah, what are you gonna do with them? You just, I guess, leave them. The thing is,
Feed
it's like
them to my dog.
it's yeah, feed it, yeah, feed it to the dog. Like it has to be because it's part like fleshy tissue. It has to
Yeah,
go in the fridge, I guess, right?
yeah. Because well, like I said, it's just it. It's like nodes, but like in the cartoons, they always show them like two little balls, but
Hmm.
like they're just like skin and nodes. Like I don't know, just bumpy little skin. I have no idea. I've never seen my tonsils again.
Yeah, I mean,
Once they were out, like I never saw them, and I've never seen tonsils like again before.
there's gotta be like a hour long like YouTube video
Oh
essay that's
no,
like what happened to all the body parts that get removed from people, like that they
They
can't
probably
reuse or whatever, you know?
they probably just throw them like in medical waste and get dumped in a landfill.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is like
Freaking fed
sure,
to
you put it in medical waste, but like what does that mean? Do they like they put it inside of like a plastic tub that's like locked and then they just bury it in the desert or some shit?
dude. Actually, that's super good point. I never thought about it. Like, how do they get rid? Do they throw it in a vat of acid? Like,
Yeah.
what do they do? Do they feed it to animals? Like,
Yeah. Do they dissolve
I think you're
in
on the
some, yeah, do they like piranhas?
they
Pigs?
they send unused body parts to zoos and feed them to the birds. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
they
know.
they send them to the government. The government creates clones for the clone army. I think that's probably accurate.
Oh no, I don't like that. You don't want to clone a me.
Well, the government doesn't know that. They gotta invest, you know? The thing
Like,
is, how angry would you be if like you get your tonsils removed, you don't think anything of it, and then just years later, 20 years later, like you see on the news your clone being like a fucking like a military general, like 5-star general, like you're like, huh, that guy is a better me than I am, and he's a
I was
clone.
I was about to
How did
say.
he get there with this? I only
Well,
got here.
to be fair, he had the government giving him like top fucking clone eugenics DNA
Mhm.
mixed with mine, and
No, no, no.
like trade.
It's all yours. It's all your DNA. The only thing that's different is the government like brainwashes him or whatever the fuck, like
Okay, well,
conditions him to like be the best you that you can be. And like the crushing realization that you're like, man, if I would have just worked harder, I could have been him. Damn it.
yeah, but that's like the government had government facilities to train them,
Hmm.
like give them formal training every day. They don't know the outside life. They didn't grow up watching Dragon Ball Z and fucking shamble house like I did.
Yeah, they didn't grow up watching their best friend Goku every week, being like, "Oh man, one day I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna get so angry, my hair's gonna
Like-
turn, my eyes are gonna turn different color. I'm gonna shit all over my enemies."
Yeah, like, see, they didn't grow up with that shit. They're not like some weeb that like fucking lives down in Texas. They're like government clone that just happens. I'd be upset because I'm like, God damn, I look good. Why can't I look that good?
Yeah,
Fucking like clone me in the government having a goddamn 6-pack and like could lift a building over his head.
yeah.
Being a general, and I'm just here, just upset. I'm just like, well, it's all right, I guess. Just
You know what? He deserves this. Like, would you be
One
that
of us
guy that
does.
like reaches out and you're like, "Hey, did you know you were cloned based off of me? You think there's any like cool jobs I could do?" Or
you think, God, no, I'd be very like I wouldn't want to because like I would reach out to him and he's a nice clone. He reaches back out to me and he's like, "Why don't you come on up to my house and meet my family?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You got a family?"
oh, you got a whole family. Oh, yeah, no, that's beautiful. Oh, you got.
Like-
he's like, "Can you want to come up to my ranch? Oh, you got a ranch. Oh, good, cool."
Good for you. Just no, I would just let it be because that like 9 out of 10, he probably knows who I am. They probably at one point, if he's like a general, they tell him everything, and they're just like, "You are a clone, and you either accept it or we kill you." By the way, this guy that lives over there, he's who you're cloned after, and he looks at me, and just he's just like, "Oh God, I'm a better him than him."
Man, so what I think is that if he's this clone and they're like, "Yeah, you're cloned based off of this guy," obviously the first thing he's gonna do is be like, "Okay, well, like what's this guy up to?" And then he learns everything about you. How crushing would it be if he just started laughing? It's like, oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's rich. Like I am.
Like I am. I have so much money and power and muscles and hot babes.
Maybe maybe he would what's it called? He would feel it would be one of those things where he's just like, "Oh, I've lived such a better life." But then like he starts like looking more closely. He's like, "Wow, he has a family and he's real close with them and he has friends and he could do whatever he wants. He doesn't have so much pressure." And then like he gets angry and like comes after me.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
fucking things.
he eventually wants to replace you. Like, fast forward a week and like your mom comes into the living room and is like, "Angel, and just a version of you that's just like jacked," and he's like playing he's playing Mario Wonder and being really bad at it because he's never played video games before. "Oh, hey, Mom, I'm just playing video game. How are you? Can I do something for you? Do you need me to cook something for you?"
Oh no, he's already failed.
Oh, fuck,
because
fuck.
I wouldn't be in the living room.
Mhm.
I would just be holed up in my room. His hair is probably cut off.
Yeah. No, I just did you cut your hair? What did you find a way to turn like sculpt your fat into muscle? Yeah, I got surgery last night. It was great.
Recovery time is 0. You know, it's this new technology I have access to somehow. Don't worry about it, Mom. I'm here for you. Let me go make you something to eat. And that's like red flags are going up, and she's like, "He's cooking?"
Yeah, she's like, "I gotta kill him." I don't know who this man is, but I have to kill them.
Just like, gee, oh, what did you do with my son? Like, I don't know. I feel like he would be happy in my life for like a week, but then no, I would say he'd get bored. But like, I'd have to go to work, and then people at work would know immediately.
Oh yeah.
So like,
He would be like going on patrols more often than he's supposed to. Like
oh
constantly
no, yeah,
walking around and being like, "Hey, whoa, 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 whoa! I saw something suspicious over there. What are you talking about?
yeah, like
Stop!"
he'd be like calling it a boss, and like he wouldn't be watching like anime at night.
Hmm.
Just he'd be doing his job and doing a goddamn good job, and then like I again just cut it. Having short hair would immediately give him away to everyone.
Yeah.
Cause like I'm very adamant about not cutting my hair.
God, I think it's so funny that like the concept of you having a clone that's better than you in every way, but then he sees like the life that you have where you're like, yeah, man, I binged another anime today, and he's like, fuck, I want to do that.
See, but like that's the thing. Like he would be a better me in every way, but no one would really accept him because like he doesn't. He's not like real chill like me. He's like real. He doesn't know how to be chill.
Yeah.
He doesn't have this great sense of humor and these great impressions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody. The thing is, I don't think anybody would believe that it's you, but I also don't think that anybody. I don't think that he would be trying, right? Like, I think that he maybe is just so intimidating, like that they're like,
Ah,
well,
damn.
you're not Fee. He's like, I'm not, am I? Oh, yeah. How am I different? And he just like is looming over them. They're like, well, you, um, well,
Well, I
Fee,
I gotta go.
Fee used to give me $20 every time he saw me. Here's a 20. Fuck off. Yep. We'll do.
Never speak of this again. Bye.
No. Who was this? Who are you? Who am I?
Jeez, I couldn't imagine. It's so funny to think of someone that looks just like me to have like this menacing aura because I can't even imagine myself with one.
Yeah.
It's so like it's funny. I don't know. Clones are weird.
I like the thing is I have a job where I make a ton of money, and like my
Bastard.
yeah, I am. And it's pretty rare that I have to work as hard as I have the past like couple weeks. Some people have to work this hard all the time and they don't get paid as well as I do, and that is fucking stupid. But
Yeah.
like the amount of times that I've been like, oh man, it would be so nice if I could just watch all of Big O over the course of 2 days and just be in a booth by myself, like and work for 12 hours and be like, yeah, 9 of that was watching anime and 3 of it was walking around and answering questions from foreign nationals. Like that sounds sick.
You're over what's it called? Thinking the 3 hours because it's less than that.
God.
It's a lot less than that. You said 9 hours of sitting. Talk about like 10 and a half hours. There's probably like an hour and a half of actual me having to something.
God, I can't even imagine that life because that sounds so
That sounds
good.
great. I'm usually watching anime or watching a movie, and I have my Switch or my DS out.
Mhm.
So I've been playing through the new Super Mario RPG at work on my Switch while watching like the new Scott Pilgrim.
God. I can't.
so good.
I cannot. I can't. You know what I mean? Like that life to me, it's everything I've ever wanted. But like the thing is,
No, it's not.
like I want it. The thing that I want most, I want to be so rich that I can just do that. Like that I can have that job, or that I can just not have a job and just do that every day. Like that's what I want so bad. And I just, it's so expensive being alive and living where I do and having a child. And so I'm like, okay, well, I gotta just keep working until I die, I guess.
You make more. I think we went over this like 3 times what I make in a year. Maybe
Yeah.
more, maybe more. But
I
like,
am pretty positive that I make, that I make more than 3 times that you do. Yeah.
I was like on the short end because like I don't know what I'm not gonna straight up ask you.
Mm.
Hey, what's your yearly? Is it like 500K or what is it like? What's your monthly?
Yeah. Hey,
Like
how much you pulling in?
I can tell you right now, and like this isn't like that much for me, but like a month, for a month, I'd say, oh wow,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it's pretty, it's wild.
oh oh wow, yeah, that's a lot. In a month, I'd say maybe 3K if I'm lucky.
God, that's great.
That's that's after taxes.
Man, I can't. Okay. That, like, I remember, I remember having I remember having an internship, the first engineering internship that I had. And this is like, if anybody is listening and they want to know like whether or not, like, I don't know that engineering, like it's specifically software engineering, depending on the field that you go into, this is still going to be the case, but sometimes it won't be. Anyway, the first engineering internship that I had, um I was getting paid $33 an hour, and
Oh
it was,
man.
my whole job was, I had an office with a door, and over the course of the whole summer, I probably worked 100 hours on like Excel spreadsheets, and like, copy this field, paste it into this thing, copy these fields and paste it back into the Excel spreadsheet, and like working on fixing up some data that we had because they didn't have any real work for me to do, like any software work for me to do. And I felt I was so bored and so aggravated, but also that was like, I was making so much money that I got like a month and a half into my job. I was like, you know what? I've wanted to play Lost Odyssey forever, and I haven't been able to because I don't have an Xbox. I'm just going to buy an Xbox specifically to play Lost Odyssey. And
Man.
I didn't even feel it. I was like, I've earned so much money and I'm spending so little of it. I don't even give a fuck. And that was like, that was my first experience having like a real engineering job, and it just, everything since then has just been continuing to be like, wow, sorry, you mean that I can eat Whataburger every day if I want to?
Yeah.
Kind of tempting to.
Dude, like, so you sent me that number, and man, it it
Mhm.
really hit me hard. It hurt.
I'm crying right now, bruh.
On the inside, I am. It. Not gonna lie, I feel very minuscule right now. Right now, I feel real important in my household because I make the most, and your son makes more than I do, and he doesn't have a job. I'm hurt. I'm deeply hurt.
I'm just I'm just
I
I'm just so pissed off.
and I just got a raise. I'm getting 19 an hour right now,
Hell yeah.
and I'm still like not hurting. Like I'm doing all right because we have me, my mom, and I guess not my sister. She's not working right now.
Mhm.
She's going to school, focused on going to school. But like we're taking care of all the bills, and I still got like money left over, and
Yeah.
I feel great. I'm like, my mom always gets mad at me. I'm like, Mom, if I have to pay for this, I'm gonna be broke. And she's like, You're not broke. How much money do you have? I'm like, Oh, well, after this, I probably have like $800. I'm like, Oh, I'm broke. And she's like, Shut the hell up. She's like, I got like $50 in my bank account.
Yeah, dude,
And
I the thing is, I'm definitely more on your side of that argument, where like, if somebody, especially now, like, so we got pizza tonight. And it was two big pizzas, because we were like, you know what, we're gonna have leftovers. We're gonna make this as cost efficient as possible. We didn't do delivery, we went to go pick it up. This area is just expensive. So like, two
yeah,
large pizzas between the two of us, after tip and after, like, all of that, it came out to like $80.
All right.
which is horrendous, right?
Yeah.
We got the pizzas though, and I'm like, okay, I can eat this pizza for 3 days. Like, it's a big fucking pizza. And so I'm like, yeah, 3 days worth of pizza. Okay, and then there's 2 of us. Okay, so that really comes out to $15 per day for dinner, and that's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
not bad.
but still, I drive by gas stations that are like, oh yeah, it's like $5 for gas, and I'm like, oh, kill me.
Dude, gas down here is like 260 something.
Yeah, Texas Texas will just give you gas for free. Like, it's wild. It's like beef in beef in Texas is really cheap. It's the same thing with gas. It's just like, oh yeah, I mean, we have so much gas, you could just have it. It's fine.
But I'm still excited. Like, I'm still upset that it's like more than 250.
Yeah.
Because like it used to not be that much, and now I'm just like, well, what the hell? Still $30 to fill up my tank, and that's not bad.
Yeah. Honestly, like, back in the day, I used to have a pickup truck that had a 24-gallon tank, and there was a time in which I drove it almost to like running out of gas, and I filled it up, and it was over $80 to fill up my whole car, and I was like, holy shit, this sucks.
Well, I bet you feel that now. Fucking $5 a goddamn gallon.
Yeah, let me see.
Watch nigga eat my ass.
$70 it would cost me to fill up my entire tank. I have a 14-gallon tank in my car right now.
Fuck you. I never leave my house. I mean, you never almost leave yours, so
yeah, it's great. It's great. I love my house.
Well, that's what happens when you work from home. You big, stupid, smart jerk.
Listen. Okay, like this is one of the things where like especially when I complain in our Discord, I'm like, oh my god, I'm working so hard, like these hours are so long, like I'm having like a real rough time. The flip side of it is that like anytime somebody is like, oh yeah, you know, I'm like this whatever, like my car broke down, I had to like get this replaced, and like I don't think I can afford this until next month. I'm like, yeah, well, that sucks a lot, and I feel so bad for you. And that also means that anytime that I'm like, oh yeah, man, moving is really expensive, let me not be too detailed about how much we're spending on moving, because it's like a lot. And
I know it's a lot. Fucking moving across the country. It's just like it's funny that you're just like, oh man, work was so fucking hard and brutal, and like y'all make fun of me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, God, I don't want to go to work today, and you're like, oh, you have to go to work and sit and watch anime at someone else's place.
Yeah,
and I'm like, motherfucker, I don't get to be comfortable while I do it. I have to put on my shit ass uniform, wear my steel-toed boots, go and sit in an uncomfortable place. And like sit and have people see me every once in a while.
You know what? And they see me, okay?
Listen, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I gotta get up and leave at like 4 a.m. and drive through traffic, and people down here drive like maniacs just so I can go sit somewhere else and act like I give a shit. That's the worst part. I can't just sit here.
You're like, oh god, I'm so bored. I want to do something. I mean, that's how it was that summer that I had that internship. Like, I was getting paid so much money, but like especially like 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, I was like, wow, I'm really not gonna get to do anything here then. Like, I'm just fucking dying out here, because like I got into this like really bad cycle that I got into like one other summer too, where it was like, all right, I'll go to work, like I show up at work because I'm supposed to be either 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or sorry, not 9 p.m. God damn, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I like show up at the office, make sure that I'm badged in, make sure that I'm on my computer. I have on a button-down shirt and slacks and a tie, and like I'm like, okay, I'm at my computer, I'm ready to work. And then about an hour in, my office mate, like we would close the door, my office mate would take a nap. He would wake up, I would take a nap. Then we would wake up, and then it would be lunchtime. And then we'd go out and eat lunch with some of the other interns, and then we'd come back. And then I had a BlackBerry at the time, and I was so stoked that I could surf 4chan from my BlackBerry in my office that I was like, oh, thank God, I can do something with my time here. And it was mind-numbing.
Should have got you a DS or a PSP.
Honestly, the thing is, I would have felt weird if like, because the thing is, we had a door, but like we got talked to twice, where like my manager was like, hey, why do you close your door? And I was like, oh, we just, I mean,
we don't bother y'all.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, everybody has offices, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like having the door closed. Like, it just seems like that's what you're supposed to do. And she's like, actually, we all have our office doors open unless we're on phone calls. Like, having your door closed sort of means like, hey, don't bother me. I don't want to like be talked to right now. And I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that. Like, I am just gonna continue to close the door.
You're like, yeah, that's kind of what we want. Yeah, close the door, don't bother us. That's the whole vibe.
Yeah. You know what? We're doing busy intern stuff, okay?
And we don't want you to bother us.
God,
I'm not gonna complain. I make more than minimum, which is good. It's just, boy, wouldn't it be great if it was more? But
yeah, I mean, I feel like it's always either more money or more time or both. I feel like you and I are like on the opposite ends of the spectrum. You have like optimized for having the most time, and I have optimized for having the most money, and both of us are like, oh boy, you know, it would be fucking great if I would love if I could talk my work into like, hey, I'm going to take a week-long vacation. My friend is going to sit in for me, okay? He'll be in all the meetings. He doesn't know how to program. He doesn't know how to do anything, but he'll be there to talk. So be ready for that. And then you just tell your job, and then I'll show up and be like, yeah, like people will come by and be like, hey, can I go? And I'll be like, sure. Yeah, go for it. I don't care.
Do it, man.
just come back. You're gonna come back, right? Okay, cool.
God, I think that's where my real folly is. I have too much time, and with so much time, it lets me overthink everything.
Yeah.
Right. So like I told you this earlier. I'm like, I have a script that I want to record, and I had time after we stopped playing. And I didn't do anything. I was like, well, there's a new YouTube video, so I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
I have time. That's my curse, is having so much time. I don't have any responsibility for anything right now, other than paying my bills, and I can do that on my phone, and showing up to work. And I don't know, like with so much time that I have, I feel like I don't know what to do with it, so I just end up like being a potato.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. I think it's not on. I think it's my brain. My brain has like come into a cycle where it won't tell me to do what I want to do, but instead stay in this cycle of sitting and knowing what I have to do and being mad at myself, but not doing anything about it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's like the ADHD or depression or anxiety. Like there's a lot of like the neurodivergent things all have to do with that, where you're screaming at yourself internally and you're feeling worse every minute because you're like, I just have to do this one thing. It won't even take that long. Once I get started, it won't even be that difficult to do. I just have to start. Why am I not starting? Okay. I'm going to bargain. I'm going to watch this one YouTube video, and then that'll be it. All right, great. I finished that YouTube video. I've got to find a good song to put on, and then like I'll listen to music, and then oh shit, this dude just came out with a new YouTube video. Okay, well I have to watch that real quick, and then I'm gonna find the song, and then you spend a fucking another hour doing that, and then you try to find the perfect song for an hour, and then somebody interrupts you, and then yeah, like it's the worst. You're like I'm estimating in my brain, and if I'm right, this will only take me like 3 hours to do if I just fucking focus on it. But I can't.
You hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what I go through every damn day. Every day. That's my fucking curse.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I can go and get whatever checked out and probably get some kind of medication that'll help. I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna though. Yeah, that's one of the worst things about having a problem like that is that like therapy and medication and like asking someone about it, all of that can really help. But that's the problem that you need to talk about is preventing you from asking for help about that problem. Like
God,
it's such an awful cycle. Like I'm in that right now. I had a therapist in Texas, and you can't have your therapist like follow you. So like I couldn't do like you just move in with me. No, like I couldn't. I was doing all my therapy appointments like via Zoom. So I was like, yeah, I mean it should be fine. And my therapist was like, no, because of state regulations, like I can't be your therapist in your new state. So I'll give you some recommendations. And my therapist also has ADHD. And so it took her a month to get me the recommendations. And I had to bother her a couple of times. And then now that I have the recommendations, it's been 2 weeks and I'm still like, yeah, I'm going to do the research tonight to like pick one. And then I'll send him an email. But like every night I'm like, oh, I'm too busy tonight. I can't do that tonight. I can't, like, I was so busy with work for the past 11 days that like you and I recorded a podcast that was supposed to come out today, and I didn't edit it until it was already supposed to have been out. And I took too long, and the VOD from Twitch was deleted. Like, it's been a really busy week, but also this would take me 10 minutes maximum.
Yeah.
And I just keep being like, I don't know.
That's 10 minutes I could use for, I don't know, fucking off somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, totally. That's 10 minutes I could use doing the Wordle.
It's just that fucking Ouroboros fucking snaking its own ass.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we should get away from this topic because we're gonna keep going and keep talking about it and keep getting upset. But we have some other topics. And I'm gonna let you choose the next one.
All right. I'll tell you very quickly about OpenAI, and then we'll get on to the Game Awards nominees. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So do you know what OpenAI is?
I know what AI is.
Great. So OpenAI is the company that introduced ChatGPT.
Woo!
So they are like it's basically there's like a who cares about how their business is fucking like structured, but there's a ton of people like there's a ton of very large companies that are super invested in this company, and ChatGPT is like their flagship product.
Wait, didn't the head guy quit? I heard something about that.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So the wildest shit ever happened. Right. The leader, the CEO of OpenAI is a guy named Sam Altman, and Sam Altman has been like he's recognized in the community and like the AI community as like the guy. Like he's for gaming, he's like a Todd Howard, like a Reggie Fils-Aimé, like he's like that level, okay. Right? Now imagine if on a Friday, Nintendo sent out a tweet that said, "Hey, Reggie Fils-Aimé has been fired, and another person is here." Like, that's what happened.
Doug Bowser.
And yeah, Doug Bowser in. So now, basically what happens, OpenAI is like, hey, the board of directors did an internal review, and we decided that, you know what, like, he hasn't communicated with us enough, so the board no longer has confidence in his ability to continue leading, and so he is no longer the CEO. Instead, it's going to be this person. The CTO is going to be the interim CEO, and so they're like, yeah, that's going to happen. And so this guy gets on Twitter and it's like, yeah, I love my time there. I thought it was going to be great. I'll talk more about it later at some point. And then his friend, who was a co-founder of OpenAI, was like, what the fuck? You fired him? Well, then I quit too. He's the president of the company. He would fucking quit. He said, I'm out. So he was like, Sam and I are both shocked and saddened by what the board did today.
Oh no. So what does that mean for the company?
So, so here's what it means for the company. 2 days later, they hire the former Twitch CEO, Emmett Shear.
That guy sucks.
To replace the previous CTO or the CEO, just 2 days after appointing her. And he was like, yeah, he tweeted out, it's clear that the process and communications around Sam's removal have been handled very badly, which has seriously damaged our trust. I took this job because blah, 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 right? In the meantime, the head of Microsoft is like, hey, we're going to go ahead and hire Sam and Greg and anyone else who wants to leave OpenAI because we're going to start up an advanced AI team.
Oh, okay.
And they have already, like, Microsoft has invested, I think, $1 billion already into OpenAI. So, like, this isn't surprising.
But what do they want it for?
Who fucking knows, man? Like, their whole thing, OpenAI is, like, investigating and doing research and building products around, like, AI. And the first one that they have is this large language model AI thing, which is what ChatGPT is. So like image generation that's not large language model, but it is AI. And text generation in ChatGPT, those like have really disrupted a bunch of industries, and people are placing a lot of eggs in this AI basket as being like, oh, that's going to be the big thing, is like, we aren't going to need people that answer phones, or we aren't going to need people that like do some of like the things that we currently pay humans to do. We can automate out their jobs if AI is smart enough. And so if we invest enough in this, I'm sure like companies like Microsoft and Google, Apple, and whoever, like if Microsoft was like, oh yeah, Windows has the best AI. Like we have Cortana. If you talk to Cortana, Cortana talks back like a human. Cortana can answer questions. Cortana can solve your problems. Like if that was the thing, you would be like, oh shit, well like Windows is actually really good. Like Cortana knows how to do everything. And that's an advantage. Google, same thing, where it's like, oh, well on Android phones, you can just ask your assistant to do this. So like all these companies have a stake in making sure that AI like is beefed up. And so Microsoft immediately sees this opportunity. Like all of the AI community is shitting itself, and they are angry at OpenAI. Everybody is pissed off at the board. They're like, how could you get rid of like Daddy Sam? Papa Sam has got to come back.
Get him back.
Just hit him back, Rufio.
Yeah, hit him back, Rufio.
So yeah, head of Microsoft is like, we'll fucking hire him. We'll hire him. We'll hire anybody else. Who cares?
He done fucked up.
Monday, nearly every employee at OpenAI signed a letter signing for the resignation of the company's board and the returning of Sam as the CEO. They said, we are going to all quit if you don't do this.
Oh, no.
And they were like, yeah, listen, hey, Microsoft wants to give us all jobs. So, like, either you do this and we stay here and this stays OpenAI, or we'll just go to Microsoft and make a new OpenAI. I don't care.
Damn. Fucking really threw their fucking cards on the table. Gave them goddamn ultimatum. And like, what could they do? Like, they're just the CEOs. They don't know how to do that shit.
Yeah. So then yesterday,
All right.
They reached an agreement to where Sam is going to come back as the CEO of OpenAI. So they fire him on Friday, and he's so beloved. He has his job back by Tuesday.
Damn.
And they're just going to get rid of everybody on the board except for one guy who was there previously. And they're getting everybody else is just fucked off now. And they're like, yeah, we're so then Microsoft is like, yeah, you know what, we're glad that this changes to the board. We think this is going to be good to like a more stable, well-informed, and effective governance. Like, so they're like, this is fine. It would be really expensive for us to do this anyway. We'll keep investing in you as long as you stay stable. Anyway. Yeah, okay. I thought that was the funniest fucking thing. So like, imagine Nintendo is like, yeah, Reggie Fils-Aimé is out, and Doug Bowser is in, and then over the weekend, PlayStation was like, oh yeah, we're hiring Reggie Fils-Aimé and any other Nintendo employee that wants to quit. And then Monday, like almost all of Nintendo is like, you bring Reggie back or we're leaving. On the same day that they're like, oh, hey, Doug Bowser is actually out. We're going to get the dude who used to run Bethesda. We're going to get him in. Oh, he's going to be the new CEO. And then 2 days later, they have to be like, okay, fuck, Reggie's back and we're going to fire ourselves. Sorry.
Our bad. Fucking. So riddle me this. They fired Sam, or did he quit?
So I have a feeling it was a little bit of both. Like, I think they fired him and they said that they had cause to do so. They said, like, you know, his departure, like we did a review on his conduct and blah, blah, blah. And like, anytime that you leave a company like that and you're like somebody who is of stature or like who could get a job at another company very easily, you usually use very soft language about it. You're like, we've parted ways. Like I no longer work there and things like that. Like there's been a lot of cases in the tech industry where like, oh yeah, this person who's like really well known in the community just got hired at like wherever, Google, Microsoft or whatever. And then like a year later, like, or less than that, they're like, hey, I've really loved my time at Microsoft. I've had I think I've done everything I wanted to do and it's time for my next adventure in life. But then if you talk to them privately, they're like, oh yeah, they're a bunch of assholes. Like I kept trying to do things, like I kept trying to like actually do my job and they were just like being a bunch of pricks. So like I just quit. So like publicly they're all like, oh yeah, that way, you know, another company is like, all right, so if we hire them and we fuck them over, they're not going to like ruin our reputation over it. That's good.
So what did Sam do and why the hell was he so beloved?
Yeah, so I mean, everybody likes him because he's a champion of AI. He's like, you know, we think AI can make everybody's lives better. We're like committed to making it like good and safe to use, and like we think that AI is the future and we want to find a way for like humans and AI to work together, and he's like all about transforming stuff, and like he really believes in the tech and he's like really knowledgeable about it too. He's a very good advocate, he's a very good speaker, and he happens to be in the right place at the right time. Like he's the guy that showed up and was like, this is ChatGPT, I'm about to change the fucking world, right? And like, it's not that he like wrote it himself, but he was the public face of this company and he's been advocating for this for years. And so like everybody that cares about AI knows who he is. And he's like the poster child of the entire industry. And this board did not understand that and royally fucked up.
So, okay. So here's a simple way I could put that. You know, Ready Player One?
Mm-hmm.
The main guy who made the Easter eggs, beloved, everyone loves him.
Yeah.
But the new greedy CEOs are the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's this situation.
Yeah.
Except the guy from Ready Player One died.
Yeah. Aw. Poor guy. Yeah, it's that's exactly like that. Where like he's like, yeah, I'm like I've the guy. Everybody loves me. Like I, you know, and he just gets fired for no reason. Like the reason that they gave was, and I'm going to quote this exactly. Mr. Altman's departure, see, they didn't even say we fired him because Mr. Altman's departure follows a deliberative review process by the board, which concluded he was not consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities. The board no longer has confidence in his ability to continue leading OpenAI. So in other words, like in board meetings and stuff, he wasn't as like harsh or open as they wanted him to be. So if they were like, yeah, when do you think we can like make a bunch of money with ChatGPT? And he's like, well, we're working on it. It's like expensive. And, you know, we're working on making this better. We're working on making that better. And like, you know, it's honestly,
it's free to the public.
Yeah, it takes time with these things. We don't really know what the timeline is. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, fine. And then they hear from someone else that he's like internally communicated like, hey guys, we've got to get this done in like 6 months. And they're like, I heard you just told the company 6 months. Why didn't you tell us 6 months? And he's like, well, because it's like when I tell you, it's a hard deadline. And when I tell them, it's like, well, if the deadline slips, I didn't promise anything to you. You can't be mad at me. And they're like, all right, yeah, you could go fuck yourself then.
God, man, what a shitter they are.
Yeah,
like, because like it's a non-profit pretty much, right?
Yeah,
you don't pay anything to use it. You just use it, and then they put out.
There's two different sectors of the business, which is like the weirdest thing. There's like a for-profit version and a non-profit version. So the non-profit version does research to come up with things like ChatGPT, and then the for-profit version takes those products and will sell them to people, which is weird. I don't know how that works, but like that's how it's billed. But yeah, like they're on the forefront of like, hey, yeah, you know what's great is what if you called a phone number and somebody answered, but it really wasn't someone.
It was no one.
Wouldn't that be fucked up?
But
who was funny. Phone, right, guys?
But who was phone? Really? Who was? We've used ChatGPT a few times on this podcast.
Yeah.
Usually holiday episodes for sure. And I love it. It's so jank. I like it.
Yeah. It's great, especially I think like my wife actually recently was like, okay, I sometimes use ChatGPT to help me like when I have to write an email that seems like hard or harsh. So it's like, hey, here's some like critical feedback on something. You like slap that into ChatGPT and it does a good job of like, here's 2 paragraphs that are like, you know, in times like this, we want to like meet eye to eye and expectations aren't really being met, but like, this isn't a comment on your character or anything like that. This is strictly because like we have certain guidelines that we need to meet, and I want to work with you so that we can like come together as a team and we can hit these goals together. It's like one of those things whereas instead of being like, hey, fucko, this is the 3rd time I've asked you for something and you haven't given me it. Like it's one of those that like it's good at doing that.
I love that. So one more thing before we move on. I think this would be a fun idea because we use ChatGPT when we want to make goofy stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should have an episode. Maybe this could be a New Year's episode. I don't know. Instead of going on ChatGPT, we go on Fiverr and get one person. We come up with a topic, and we see what Fiverr can do. Give us a little story, and then we tell the story on the show.
Ooh.
And I'm only pitching this idea because one of my favorite YouTubers has done it a few times. Meat Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's each time hit the comedy gold.
All right.
I think one of the recent ones, one of my favorite ones, is when Five Nights at Freddy's came out. He had someone like, I don't know, write like a fan fiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a short story about a guy just depressed in his whole life, went on a building and was contemplating going suicide when an image of Foxy came on the
Oh
building,
my god.
told him to jump because life was so much better. And man, I know it sounds really weird when I'm saying it, but man, that story fucking killed me. It made me laugh so hard, like the hardest I've laughed like in a while. It fucking got me, dude. And
Christ.
I want to see if we can pay someone to make some goofy little story about whatever. We'll come up with the topic later, but I want to capture some of that magic.
Yeah?
And I want to see if we can get like some kind of like New Year's, I don't know, story time.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't see why not. I don't give a shit.
Uh,
I don't give a shit.
I don't give two fucks. But anyway, last topic before we sign off.
Yeah, this is
The
gonna
video
be
game award.
big.
It comes, and I'm so stupid because I always forget when it comes out, but it's December the 7th. The Video Game Awards, and there's a whole lot of awards this year,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't a lot. There was good games this year, but not like great games.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking some of these will be controversial, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's get with the big one out of the way.
Yeah.
The game of the year, dude.
Game of the year.
So,
and
1,
here's
2,
the thing.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I will
6
argue
nominees.
with you. I think actually this year had a bunch of bangers.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. There was a lot of bangers, but there was a lot of dudders, a lot of dudsters.
Also, yes, if you take a look at like some of the other categories as we're going to, so yeah, game of the year. Here's the full list: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
Oh, the remake, the new one.
Yeah, but why? Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think it is so funny that Resident Evil 4 is there, and one of the most anticipated games in recent memory, Starfield, is not because it was so underwhelming.
It was so man, I played it. I played it for free on Xbox Game Pass, and boy, I hated it. I did not like it. I gave up. I was like, this game sucks big fucking ass.
God.
It sucks the fart right out of my ass. Just that's how bad it was.
Man, and it's going up against a game that literally it's a remake, but it's pretty much a remaster, honestly. Like it's better, it's got some quality of life improvements, it's got way better graphics, but like dog, it's still Resident Evil 4, a game that came out like 12 times back in the day. It shouldn't be in the running for Game of the Year anymore.
More than that. No, but it's not just the same. They've rebuilt it from the ground up.
Yeah, guess what though? It's the same game though.
It is the same game. But that just goes to show you that like how beloved that game is, and with like a fresh coat of paint mechanics and like some new stuff, make that game great again.
Yeah. I just okay. Of those games, what's going to be your game of the year? It's very obvious what mine is going to be.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Honestly, that's the one that I'm rooting for to win. Because I think they deserve it. Baldur's Gate 3, like Larian has done such a bang up job with their game. I don't think I'd have fun playing it. But
I love that game.
And
like
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is my game. And I'll throw up inside of anyone that wants to fight me about it. But I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be the one that gets it.
Yeah, it is. Even though Alan Wake 2 is such a fucking great game.
Dude, you know what's the craziest thing is like, didn't we only find out about Alan Wake 2 earlier this year?
I want to say someone knew about it like last year or something. But like we didn't
One
hear
guy,
like
Alan Wake knew about it last year.
But we didn't hear anything about it. No, because like I think last year we got like a trailer for it, like just a random ass trailer for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
And then didn't hear anything about it until this year.
You're like, what the fuck is that?
Dude, but that game is this Alan Wake 2 is so fucking good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it seems great actually.
Dude,
Um,
after playing part 1 all the way through, and part 1's great. Part
yeah.
1's such a good game. And then playing part 2 like right after, dude, fucking night and day. Part 2 is so good. The narrative, the way they like switch things up, the mind
Mm-hmm.
gate. I know I'm talking it up, and I said Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win, but like Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win. Profit fee stepping in. It's Baldur's Gate 3,
I think it
but
is too.
Alan Wake 2 was just so good, and I think it deserves at least the what's it called, a special, like, not like instead of number one, it's our, like, what's it called, just a special shout out, I guess, that it could have been number
Yeah,
one.
big ups.
Big ups.
The Big Ups Award.
Except like that's Fee's Big Up Award. Uh, here's the thing that I'm not real, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, but like Spider-Man 2 has the potential to take number one, and I'm very not upset about it, but like I can see why it could be. It's just Baldur's Gate 3 has, you could do anything in that game.
Yeah.
You could play it any way you want. It hasn't even released DLC, and it just has like tons of replayability. Baldur's Gate 3 does. It's just that Spider-Man 2 looks really good. You got all of New York. It's just Spider-Man 1 again, but with a new story.
Yeah. Which sounds great. I love that.
It's just I'd be really upset if Spider-Man 2 won over Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, that's fair. I think that like Baldur's Gate 3 is an interesting case because of the fact that you can do so much, and there's so many different ways to complete the missions. There's so many different ways to like come at the story. And there's a bunch of different outcomes that I'm wondering what that gets an award for. Cause like Game of the Year, I think it could absolutely be Game of the Year.
Game direction, maybe.
Yeah, but let's move down to the rest of the categories, because it's also up for best game direction. It's also up for best narrative.
All right.
So like does the fact that it's like that you could do anything, does that mean that its narrative is the best? Or
no? I'd argue Alan Wake 2 gets narrative.
Alan Wake 2 has to get best narrative. Like, I watched you play Alan Wake 2 and was like, wow, I want to play this game because it's so well written.
Yeah, it is way well written. And, like, that, the narrative is what Alan Wake 2's strongest point is.
Mm-hmm.
It has to win that. So I'm calling that as another prophecy. Alan Wake 2 is going to win best narrative. For sure.
Man, I think you're right about that, and that brings us back up to game direction. Does the fact that you can do anything in it, do you chalk that up to game direction, or do you say that something like, because Super Mario Brothers Wonder also has like, it's one of the best 2D Mario games that's come out in a long time, in that like there's new stuff in it, there's new ideas, new concepts, like you can play the game a lot of different ways, but it's not as narrative changing as Baldur's Gate 3, and I don't know if that means that it's I don't know if you can chalk that up to direction, or what gets that, is that gameplay?
Let's boil this down. What does game direction even mean?
I don't know. Is that like is it like the cinematic stuff in the game? Is it like how well it plays? I don't know.
Because if that's the case, like Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a great direction for the series, but I'd also say Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is. Mm-hmm. But what can you do after that? Like that's already finished. Super Mario Bros. Wonder can make more games like this with fresh new takes and stuff, fresh new mechanics. So like it could only go, the direction for that game could only go like up more. Baldur's Gate 3 also has that potential, and I think Alan Wake 2 has that potential for one more game. But if I had to pick, it's a tie between Baldur's Gate 3 and Mario.
Yeah.
Only because Baldur's Gate 3, all they could do is make it better and release DLC, so the direction for this game can go like in numerous different ways.
Yeah.
It's like unlimited potential. But I'd also say that for Mario because the potential, like they saw what they did here, and the potential for that game to just get better with sequels
Yeah.
is like even better. But like Nintendo being Nintendo, they might just be go the safe route and not do that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they could add in like different kingdoms. They could add in like new levels and stuff. Like, I don't know. I just don't. If you so imagine that they added something to Super Mario Brothers Wonder, where you could design levels like Mario Maker. It's like Mario Maker 2.5. Would
I think they
that be
just
good game direction? Is that a direction thing?
no. I think they would have to just make a Mario Maker 3 with Super Mario Bros. Wonder skin that you can use.
Man, I would love to do Mario Maker 3. Like,
Yeah.
I have watched so many Mario Maker 2 videos at this point that they've Mario Maker 3 has to be somewhere, but I don't know, somewhere in my heart I feel like it's never going to come and we're just going to be sad about it, but whatever.
The next Nintendo console that they're gonna do it. They have to. That's
Yeah.
like their flagship won a console for like since the Wii U. It's the
Mhm.
Wii U, then on the Switch, and now on the new one. They're gonna have to.
Well, I don't know, man, because I agree that they won't come out with another one before a new console, but I think that like I they have a bunch of other games that come sort of before that, right? Like they have a 3D Mario game, they have a Zelda, they have a
Well,
Metroid.
what if the Mario Maker includes 3D like in Super Mario World 3D Land?
The thing is, that's still 2D Mario. Like,
No, 3D Land, the one where you can run in three directions. Like it's not 2D, it's just a 3D game, like the one on the Wii U.
I mean, that would be kind of sick.
Yeah.
It would be kind of sick if we got a Mario Maker 3 that was like they have to do Mario Maker 3D, right? Like it's right there.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's in the name right there, right? But for game direction, I'm gonna go back to Baldur's Gate 3. I'm calling that
Yeah,
one too right now.
I'm gonna do Baldur's Gate 3 as well. Best narrative, I'm gonna do Alan Wake 2. I want it to be Final Fantasy 16, but I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Yeah. So
Best adaptation is gonna be interesting.
I'll tell you this. I've seen Castlevania Nocturne, The Last of Us, and Super Mario Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the three, The Last of Us for sure.
You know, I haven't watched The Last of Us, but the fact that non-gamer friends have been like, "Oh yeah, we've got to go home and watch our zombie show," and I'm like, "What show are you watching? Walking Dead?" And they're like, "No, it's called The Last of Us," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, so people are really watching this thing then."
Yeah, it's so good. It's probably one of the best adaptations I've ever seen. Like they didn't deviate like much from the game, except giving us a backstory on like a one character, but like everything's the same. They cast like the perfect people to play Joel and Ellie and everyone. They cast the perfect people. It was a perfect mix. It was so good.
Man. Yeah,
And
I like whenever they announced Pedro Pascal, and then I heard him talking in the I think like the second trailer. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like he's the fucking guy.
yeah, he's the dude. And then Super Mario Bros. It was good. I enjoyed it, but oh man, the best adaptation? Nah, I think they need another one.
Yeah,
For me to like really be hooked on it. And I like this movie a lot.
yeah, I thought it was great.
Castlevania Nocturne, really great animation,
Mm-hmm.
really good action scene. But man, that they deviated a lot from like the source.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna complain about this till the day I die. Richter Belmont wasn't the focus of this, and it pissed me off because Richter's my favorite Belmont.
Why?
He's so fucking cool. Like he does that like fucking sliding kick. He has the uppercut. He has the cross powers.
He's the coolest Belmont because he can punch.
He's just a badass. Like the way he walks with such fucking tenacity. His story is good too. It's just like he's the guy. He's the fucking dude. You don't play as much of him in Symphony of the Night, but he is the main guy. You start out with him, you go and beat the shit out of Dracula. You get possessed, and it's up to Alucard to save you.
Mm-hmm.
But in the game before that, the prequel that only came out in Japan, Castlevania, I think it was called Blood something. I forget. But it
Rondo of Blood? Is that what it is?
Oh, it got re-released as Rondo of Blood in America on the PlayStation.
The Blood.
On the PSP. Rondo of Blood. And that game was good. But they didn't really do anything with Richter in that game. And they focused a lot on, I forget her name, Richter's girlfriend in the game, but they made her, like, they gave her this deep backstory of her being a runaway slave, and now she has weird earth powers, and they made it about her and not about the Belmonts, which it should be about the Belmonts, and, like, people are like, yeah, but she was really cool. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point.
It's not the point.
I'm like, Castlevania is about the Belmonts and, like, their deep ties with defeating vampires.
With Dracul.
And it's just, I don't think it stacks up to The Last of Us.
Okay. I would probably agree with you because I had non-gamer friends that were talking about it, so I think that's probably right.
Yeah, and fuck Gran Turismo, and everyone said Twisted Metal was a fun watch, so yeah. It was fun, but I don't think it got any deeper than that, so.
All right, let's keep moving. Let's do, I want to do best art direction.
Yeah, I was just about to say art direction, Alan Wake 2.
Here's the thing.
Sorry.
I don't know. I think this one may actually have to go to Hi-Fi Rush because it's Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, which I think, let me make sure that this is the case.
Lies of P is great. Lies of P is so good.
Yeah, I want to see if if this is the only thing Lies of P was nominated for. But yeah, it's best art direction. That's
Hi-Fi Rush got adapted for nominated for other stuff. So fuck that game. I mean, it's fun. I played pretty much all these games. Well, the first 3. But if I had to pick best art direction, Alan Wake 2 is my for sure pick. And as a fallback, I'd say Lies of P. Because Lies of P looks gorgeous. It looks great. And some of the stuff in that game is like awesome. I played through the game on Twitch. Mm-hmm. It's super good. I love everything. And the main character, fucking P, Pinocchio, he's one sexy twink.
Fair.
He's hot. He's super hot. Alan Wake himself is hot too, but the art in that game is so good. So those are my 2 picks. Alan Wake to win. Alan Wake 2 to win, and Lies of P as the runner-up.
Man, yeah, I mean, I think that's probably fair. I'm gonna go Hi-Fi Rush, though. I think it's probably gonna win.
It's okay.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder may also be up there.
That's true.
God, I want to give it to Tears of the Kingdom, but I can't. Tears of the Kingdom is a beautiful game, but like, I just don't think that art direction is its strong suit.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm like, man, I'm very surprised you're not saying that, but yeah, you're right. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great.
Yeah.
All right, at least to me. But you played through the whole game, so you have a better.
It's my favorite game.
It's your favorite game.
Best music and score, we got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. Hi-Fi Rush, I'm gonna have to give it to on this one, with a runner-up of Tears of the Kingdom. the only reason why I'm not giving it to Tears of the Kingdom is because Hi-Fi Rush does that thing where it's like you doing things in the game to the beat feels so good, and Tears of the Kingdom doesn't do that. Because I will say, like, there are songs in Tears of the Kingdom that will make me cry if I just listen to them at this point, because it's so good. There's so many songs where you're like, I'm the best.
All right, so I'm gonna say Final Fantasy.
Interesting.
The music is always gorgeous in every game,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna put Squeenix down. Like that's what their best thing is music.
It usually is. I will say though, not composer is not Nobuo Uematsu for this one. So
I know, but you know what? I'm sticking to my guns. Final Fantasy is my pick, and Alan Wake 2 is my runner-up.
all right. We should list these down so that we can see who won later.
Yeah, should I start writing this down?
I don't fucking care. We could do it later.
I'll do it.
Best audio design.
You know what? That's not. Let's see. From these picks, I'd say Alan Wake 2, but Hi-Fi Rush has some good design.
Yeah, I think Hi-Fi Rush has also got to get it for that as well.
Yeah, but Alan Wake 2 feels like you're there just with all the audio, like not even music, just like when you're walking in like mud and stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds and feels very real when you're walking through water, like just the ambient of like when you're in the forest or like you're in the other world, like you're underground, like in a subway.
Yeah.
That's the audio on this one is so fucking good. So like Alan Wake is my pick for that one. So I'm sorry, like Alan Wake's gonna sweep it for me on some of these.
Yeah, I just keep going for Hi-Fi Rush because it does cool stuff with audio, and I'm like, it needs an award for this. I don't know who should give it to them.
You're like really going for the dark horse on these.
I mean, I don't think it's that much of a dark horse. It's
I'd say Dead Space was the dark horse in this one.
Yes, Dead Space is the one where I'm like, you needed things to fill out this category. Okay, cool.
I don't know. You say Hi-Fi Rush, I say Alan Wake 2. So
all right. I'm gonna skip performance, accessibility, games for impact. Let's go to best ongoing games because I find this extremely hilarious. Best ongoing game is Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Who do you think it deserves, and why is Cyberpunk 2077 in there?
Damn, I don't know, but because I guess that after they fixed it, everyone's like, "Oh, this is a good game."
Yeah, so, the thing is, people have such short memories. They're like, "Yeah, they're working on the game. They're making it better. That's great." It's like, yeah, but they released a giant buggy half-finished mess. Like you shouldn't get awards for this game. This should just be like, hey, you're legally required to continue finishing this game right now, but like no one is going to acknowledge it.
Yeah, I don't want to play through it again, and I have it, and every day I'm like, man, I see people talking about it, I'm like, man, I do want to play through this game again, but then I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to waste a lot of my time playing through it again, but I do and I don't. So
God, and there's not even an achievement for beating it on hard mode. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know, and I would play. I want to play again on hard mode, but then I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna say Fortnite.
Fortnite's not a bad one. I'm gonna probably go with Genshin.
That's fair.
Genshin or 14. 14 consistently just keeps doing shit, and I'm like, damn, son, like this game ain't never gonna die.
I've never played Genshin, so I have no stake in it. I played Final Fantasy 14 once and stopped.
Oh man,
I keep playing. Well, here's the thing, and I think I told it to you or someone that Final Fantasy 14 is a fun game. It looks like a fun game, but when you're playing it solo, it's not a fun game. You have to be playing with someone.
Man, Yeah, it is. It is an MMO in that way, and I will say I've played Genshin Impact by myself. I actually like it a lot.
Yeah, I hear that game is fun if you play it by yourself. It's just I don't have time to invest in this game. Or I do, but I don't feel like it's worth my investment.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um,
And Fortnite, I just keep having fun. Fuck, we played it today for like 3.5 hours.
that was great.
It was great. I had fun. I didn't want to stop playing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm saying
And that
Fortnite.
it takes us right back into best community support, which again, I don't know why they keep including
Man.
Cyberpunk 2077. I'm gonna skip a whole bunch of them. I want to get down to the genres. Okay, best action game. We have Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Russian Remnant 2.
Ooh, okay. Man, so I feel like you might say Hi-Fi Rush.
No, I'm gonna say Armored Core.
Okay, I would say Armored Core. I haven't played it, but every time I see people playing it, it looks fantastic. It's a short game, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks insane.
But I'm gonna say Dead Island 2. Man, that game is great.
All right. Hey, listen, no shames here.
Listen, I played through that whole game, and it is so fun. The just shooting zombies and cutting them into pieces feels so good. And like creating stuff and just kind of exploring. I love this game. Dead Island 2 is so fun.
Yeah, Sam B. No other game had Sam B.
Yeah, even though he was a little shitter in part 2.
True.
And they changed his voice actor. He's not Phil Lamar in part 2. That's a bummer. But I did love this game a lot. Dead Island 2 has like the Dead Island series in general has a spot in my heart like forever.
Man. I like that. That's so sweet. I hope the Dead Island 2 creators hear this right now. I hope they're saying, you know what? I am proud.
I still haven't like uninstalled it off my fucking computer because I play it every once in a while.
Hell yeah, why not?
It's my favorite. So that's what I'm saying. Saying Dead Island 2.
All right. Best action adventure game. Alan Wake 2. It's hard to place Alan Wake 2 into a category, and I guess they picked this one. Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom.
Wait, Jedi Survivor? Not even part 2?
Survivor is part 2.
Oh, okay. I thought Survivor was just the name of the series.
No, it's Jedi. The first one was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and this one is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't played any of these besides Alan Wake 2, so I'm just going to say Alan Wake 2.
It's going to be Tears of the Kingdom, baby.
Yeah.
They may give it to Spider-Man 2, though. Maybe they'll give Tears of the Kingdom like a big award, and then they'll be like, yeah, here's your award, Spider-Man 2. You could take this one.
I will say the combat in Spider-Man 1 was very satisfying.
It was.
So and Spider-Man 2 is just that again, but like more refined. So I could see this one taking it. So I'd still say Alan Wake 2, but Spider-Man does have a chance up to be number 1 in this category. Good. Although Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom will pull this one, so I changed my answer to Tears of the Kingdom. Because I know how much people love this game and how good it is, even though I haven't played it. So let's go to Best RPG. And
this one actually I lied. Lies of P is actually on here twice. It's in Best RPG. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. Sea of Stars is actually an indie game that I want to play. It looks it looks a lot like Chrono Trigger, and that is very attractive to me.
Yeah, it's free on Game Pass, and I thought about playing it.
You should play it and then tell me how it is.
But then Super Mario RPG came out.
Yeah, well, play Super Mario RPG first.
Yeah, obviously. That's what I'm doing. Obviously.
Okay, so who do you think?
Who do you think I think? Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I that's what I figured. I thought you were going to say Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to say Final Fantasy 16. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take basically every award, and they're going to be like, all right, Final Fantasy 16, here's something. Here's a bone.
Yeah, Square Enix, this is the one that you're like fighting for, best RPG.
Yeah.
It has to be, but nope, I'm sorry. Baldur's Gate 3 is just a superior RPG.
Yeah.
It is the definition of role playing.
I believe you. I believe you that it's better. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still gonna go with Final Fantasy 16 just because I think politics is gonna be in it.
You dare fucking slight the prophet.
The prophet can eat my balls. That's what I've said.
Well, the prophet may eat your balls if you ask nicely.
All right, keep that in my back pocket.
Hell yeah! Best fighting game. And let me just say, fuck all these games. It's Street Fighter 6.
Damn. Mortal Kombat 1, not even going to give Mortal Kombat... Omni-Man some Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, here's the thing. I have both of those games. I have Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. And they are both they're peak of their franchise right now. Mortal Kombat 1 has the better story. And it has really good combat. But it's all about... it just feels slower, and Street Fighter 6 just feels like so optimized with all the stuff they had like over the years, and this is like the best one. All the characters and everything, the free world like story that you get to make your own character and run around in. I don't know. I'm saying Street Fighter 6 is just feels better and it's more fun to look at. Right now, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat 1 because they're releasing the DLC every couple of months. But, like, I don't know. I have more fun playing Street Fighter 6. What can I say? Like that's what I grew up on. Street Fighter 2 is the first Super Nintendo game I ever played. And
you're not even gonna consider Nickelodeon All Stars? Not even All Stars Brawl 2, by the way, 2. They didn't bring all the characters. They pulled a fucking Left 4 Dead 2, and they were like, yeah, you know the things that we said we were going to add later? Instead, it's a second game, because whatever, fuck you.
And let me tell you, like, I've seen people play it, and it looks fun, but, like, I don't need Diet Smash Brothers to win this when it's not, like, no, it's not. It's all about Street Fighter. And I don't even know what the fuck Pocket Bravery is or God of Rock is.
Whoa, how dare you. God of Rock? Oof.
All right, what is it?
I don't know. I don't know. No idea.
Exactly. I mean, what are these two things? They didn't even put Guilty Gear Strive on here. Fucker. They didn't even put King of Fighters 16 on here.
Did that come out this year? There's 16 King of Fighters? When?
Yeah. Like 16 years ago.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Longer than that, yeah. No, I think it came out like a year or two ago. But if people are still playing it, like, I don't know what God of Rock is. I don't know what Pocket Bravery is. Maybe I'm stupid. They didn't even put fucking DDF, fucking Dungeon Fighters fighting game.
Dungeon Fighters fighting. I love that game.
Yeah. Well, like it sounds stupid, but it is a fighting game and it looks fun. They didn't put that game, like, it's Street Fighter 6. It's gonna be Street Fighter 6.
All right, I'm gonna have to take you at your word on this one. I'm gonna go for Mortal Kombat 1 just to hedge our bets. That way we're not wrong. Collectively, we're correct.
Collectively, yeah, that's what we strive to be.
Okay, all the rest of these are sort of boring.
Well, hold on. Best family game, Pikmin 4.
Oh, I was gonna say Mario Wonder, like.
Oh, that is, yeah. Wonder, you know what? They're both Nintendo, so either one, they still win. Pikmin 4, I've heard such good things about, but if you're talking about a family, if you want your family to play, Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, Super Mario Wonder has the mode where you can't get hurt. Like, the only way that you can die as Mario is to fall down a hole. So, like, that's kid-friendly, dude.
You gotta pick Yoshi for
Yeah,
that to happen.
no, you have to pick Yoshi or
Or
Nabbit.
Nabbit.
Yeah.
So
Nabbit.
I hate that they put him in there.
Yeah. It's like putting the Noid in. Like, what are you doing?
Actually, I'd love the Noid. Sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
Best sim
okay.
strategy game, Advance Wars. These are just quick succession.
Yeah, Advance Wars, best racing game, who gives a shit? Best
Yeah, fuck
multiplayer
racing.
game.
Oh man,
What?
presented by Discord.
I guess Mario Wonder.
No, best multiplayer. That means like to play online.
Yeah, and you could play Mario Wonder online.
I'd say Baldur's Gate 3, but how are you playing that online?
Yeah. I'm not
Diablo
convinced.
4. No, you know what? Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anticipated game?
Most anticipated game we're going to have some words on. What do you think it is?
Final Fantasy 7.
It's Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth for sure.
Yeah.
However, people are going to be pissed because Hades 2, and I will say Yakuza is a franchise that has the weirdest and most passionate fans. So the fact that Like a Dragon is on here is also going to be like, I don't know. People are going to be up in arms about this one, I think.
Listen, if Like a Dragon and Final Fantasy 7 came out on the same day, people would probably get Final Fantasy 7 like pick that one to play first before that one.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? That's probably a good way of looking at this category. Is like if all these games came out on the same day and you only had the money to buy one, which one would it be?
Yeah, Rebirth.
Yeah,
sure.
Gotta be.
I'm waiting for Tekken 8. I really want to play that. But boy, I want Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth before that. And I don't even have a PS5. I'm thinking about getting a PS5 just for that game alone.
Yeah, baby.
But that goes back to our early talk. I don't have just the money to be like,
True.
I won't fucking.
True, you don't have the money, and I don't have the time.
Content creator of the year, Iron Mouse, because I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, it's got to be Iron Mouse. Love Iron Mouse.
Fuck yeah, Iron Mouse.
Best esports game. I don't know. It's probably going to go to Counter-Strike 2, but
yeah, it's like Counter-Strike.
Valorant is also honorable mention.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't even like that game. Counter-Strike 2.
And the rest of these categories, who gives a shit?
The fuck? Esports athlete? Don't even know.
Esports Best athlete, esports team, esports coach, and esports event.
Look, I'm gonna pick the best esports team based on their name.
Okay.
The Gaming Gladiators.
Oh no, it's got to be Evil Geniuses, baby.
Oh no, that's too generic. Gaming Gladiators sounds like a fucking high school team, and I'm down with that.
The thing is, it's not Gaiman Gladiators, it's Gaiman Gladiators.
Even better, Gaiman Gladiators.
Love those Gaimans.
Love them Gaimans. Fucking yeah, you're right.
You just shine bright like a Gaiman.
Shine bright like a Gaiman. Best esports event. All these suck ass, and I hate them.
Yeah. So. What about Evo? There you go, Evo. Sure.
Oh wait, Evo? Okay, never mind. Evo. Evo. I didn't.
Oh shit! Wait, you say Evo?
I didn't see Evo on there. I like skimmed. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Sorry. I recant my thing. It's gonna be Evo because fucking Evo always fucking hype.
All right.
Esports coach. Fuck them. I hate them.
Damn.
Yeah, they can eat my ass and go to hell. That's my pick.
Really? Even Zonic. Okay, fine.
Who the fuck is Zonic?
Danny Zonic Sorensen from Team Falcons. He plays Counter-Strike.
Why would it be that guy? It would be Jordan Gunba Ram.
It's Gunba. It's all about Gunba, okay?
Yeah, it's
from the Florida Mayhem, which, by the way, when I was watching Overwatch League, was one of the most clowned on teams. So maybe they've turned it around. I don't know.
Even better. Are you sure it's not?
That's true.
Remy Queenium?
Yeah, that's you pronounce it. He wanted his name to be Chainsaw Sound, but it was too long, so he just went zzz.
Zzz. All right, maybe our boy Yan Hom Sung Young from League of Legends will bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It could be any one of them this year.
Could be anything, baby.
Yeah. So that's our picks. That's all our picks.
Yeah, and you know what? Whenever we'll come back to this, whenever the Game Awards actually happen, to see how we did. We're gonna make a scorecard. It's gonna be great.
Oh hell yeah! I have a feeling that I'm gonna win every time a scorecard is brought into the equation. I win.
I hate this because you're right, and I hate losing so much.
I think you hate it more because I win. If anyone else besides me won, you'd be fine.
You would think that. I just fucking hate losing.
Yeah, if I lose this year, I'll chalk it up to just being like, I wasn't interested anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Just off year.
The stars weren't aligned this time.
Yeah, 2013, not my year. It's fine.
But when I do win, you're gonna fucking feel it.
God. All right.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Listen, if you're listening to this podcast live, you're certainly doing it on twitch.tv/GoGettasPod. We go live anytime between 1, 0, and 2 times a week. Any of those numbers.
That's a random choice, random sequence.
But if you want to listen to this in audio only, this audio podcast comes out every Wednesday at 5 a.m. on any podcatcher that you can think of. If I have edited the podcast, then it'll come out at 5 a.m. so you have something to listen to. But if you want, if you're more into video, then this will be up on YouTube at 2 p.m. same day every Wednesday. And that's the same place where you can catch our YouTube shorts, and those same videos you can catch on TikTok. And guess what? They are fucking fire. They are fire.
Firefest. 2.
Don't allude to that.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that because we're good, and that's bad.
We're good boys. Come to our fest next year, the Gettas Fest.
Yeah, we're good boys, and that's what we should have been called the good old boys.
The go good boys. The
You see how I was having trouble with that? Anyway, Fee, take it away.
Here's what I want you to do this week.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go to your computer, bring up ChatGPT.
Already there.
I want you to input the prompt on why Colby thinks Hi-Fi Rush is such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to print the prompt out, go to your local post office, mail it to him. No, don't mail it to him. I want you to hand deliver it to him so that way you can see his dumb look on his face. And then go get him.
Damn, go get him. I just thought the music was cool.
Oh, you thought, huh? You just thought everything was cool. You're so fucking cool, aren't you?
Damn.
You thinking your underdog Hi-Fi Rush is gonna be I'm the fucking prophet. Who are you?
Who are you? Listen.
Nobody.
Let me go over very quickly. ChatGPT says, without knowing you, here's some general reasons why somebody would like this game. High quality graphics and audio, engaging gameplay, responsive controls, variety of content, community and social features, innovative features, positive reviews and reputation, and personal preferences. So there you go. That's why. Stupid.
I just brought up ChatGPT, and without knowing you, it says, Colby likes to dunk his cat's turds in his coffee and drink them for recreational fun.
I post that on the internet. That's a viral tweet that blew up, and it's a whole thing. It's just this is how they do it in Alabama, and that's the coffee capital of the United States. So
yeah, they call it the Alabama kitty whisker.
Yep, that's what they call it. And don't look that up.
Don't look it up. It's true.
Don't look it up. Just use it with your friends that are from Alabama. They'll know what you're talking about. And if they don't, it's because they're pretending, because it's a big secret.
The big secret. Just don't smell their breath. Their litter box breath.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, little doo-doos. Little doody doo-doos. Goodbye!
little duties. Why did that get me?